We are now in San Cristóbal de Las Casas, a historical colonial town in the state of Chiapas, Mexico. And what is a better way to know this beautiful city than by joining a walking tour, which is exactly what we're gonna do now. Let's go!
We highly recommend this free walking tour. Check out their website in the description for the schedule.
This is the cathedral in the main square of San Cristobal. Well, sadly it's closed because there was a really bad earthquake in 2017 and now they are doing a lot of restoration there.
In the city center of San Cristobal, you can find a lot of pedestrian streets like this, and they are called andador turísticos. It's really beautiful and it's really pleasant to walk through them.
We are now in the handcraft market and it's so pretty here.
The handcraft market of San Cristobal is a wonderful maze to get lost in, and it is the perfect place for hunting souvenirs and gifts.
These are raw embers. It's 20 million years old and this is so light because it's basically resin, fossilized resin.
These are better known as Mexican ambers or Chiapas ambers, and they are of high quality. Many of them also contains fossils of ancient arthropods.
Beautiful, no? In the middle of the artisanal market, suddenly you have this beautiful church popping up, the Santo Domingo Church, with really elaborate artworks in the front, in the facade.
We continued further with our free walking tour through the delightful streets and squares of San Cristobal.
This is Barrio or neighborhood El Cerrillo. This is the oldest neighborhood in San Cristóbal de Las Casas. It has a really nice and relaxing vibe. It's a perfect place to chill.
This neighborhood is one of the best spots to visit in San Cristobal, and it's not difficult to see why with its vibrant atmosphere and delightful streets. In fact, El Cerrillo is even one of the oldest neighborhoods in the whole country.
We are now in a really cool and cute place because not only they are showing beautiful arts here, but they are also promoting young artists from Chiapas area. And by having this space, these young artists can be promoted, they can show their art, and they can also sell their art. So it helps them to grow as well. A really cool concept.
This gallery is a great alternative to the market for souvenirs hunting, or something more artistic. Our free walking tour is almost coming to an end, and what's a better way to bring it to a close than by sampling the legendary local liquor? And so we're heading to the local tasting room.
So we are going to try Posh, and Posh is a spiritual drink, a traditional drink from Chiapas area. This liquor is made of corn and it is believed to have healing properties. And by the way, Posh itself also means medicine in Chocil. That's the language.
We were given extensive explanations about the drink by our bartender. Posh is only made specifically in the San Cristobal and nearby San Juan de Chamula area, making it still pretty much very local and indigenous, unlike its more famous Mexican cousins such as tequila or mezcal. Nevertheless, with such a great taste and variations of the drinks, it's only a matter of time before Posh takes off to the world.
I want to thank you for being here, for listening to me, for enjoying this experience with me, and thank you. Colaval, gracias.
Colaval.
For breakfast, we are trying tamales. It's basically made of maize, corn, and wrapped in banana leaves. Ooh, it's steaming hot. Wow. So it has meat inside. Interesting. Let's try. Approved. It's really nice. This is Horace. Like all the Mexicans say, it's like taco, but it's not taco. Well, it is actually different from taco because the shell is crispier, and also inside they have cheese and avocado, paprika, and other things. But if you go to another country, they probably will call this elongated taco.
A visit to San Cristóbal de Las Casas is not complete without visiting some of the Mayan villages around it. And this one, San Juan de Chamula, is very famous, especially because of that church. It says that it blends the Mayan tradition with Christianity. So we're gonna check it out. This church is really unique, not only in Mexico but also in the world. Well, it's really such a pity that we couldn't take any video or photo inside, but the experience will blow you away because this is the only place where you can see the assimilation between the Catholic Church and the ancient Maya tradition. It's really mind-blowing. This church was built in the 16th centuries by the Spaniards when they came here because they wanted to convert the people of Chamula into Catholics. And for the next 3 centuries, the Catholic teachings and the ancient Mayan traditions existed side by side. But in the mid-19th century, a war started to break out between the Mayan people and the Spaniards because the Mayan people thought that the Spaniards were too imposing of the real Catholic teaching into their daily life. After 1 year, they started to reconcile, they started to have dialogue, and in the end, the Catholic Church actually agreed to let the Mayan people come into the church to practice their ancient Mayan tradition. Some agreements were reached in order for the Mayan people to come into the church. The Mayan people didn't want to have any priests, didn't want to have any mass or any Bible reading inside the church. And the Spanish, they wanted the Mayan people to be baptized and also to put a lot of saints inside the church. But the unique thing was that actually the Mayan people associated these saints with the elements of nature. For example, Jesus Christ was associated as the sun, and the Mother Mary is actually associated as the moon. This practice continued to live until today, which makes it really unique. When we entered the church, we were completely blown away. It was unlike anything that we've ever seen before. And in this church, there were a lot of boxes containing the statues of saints. And on the floor, there are no chairs, but instead they covered it with pine leaves, which is believed to purify the space. And then all these people started sitting on top of these pine leaves. They started putting a lot of candles in a row. They started to light it up, and then they started to chant in their Mayan language, Xochitl. This is how they do the rituals, and they can do it any time of the day because this church is open 24 hours. There are 3 types of rituals that are practiced by the Mayan people inside the church. The first one is the ritual of asking, like asking for a good rain or for a good harvest. The second one is the ritual of thankfulness, like giving thanks after a good harvest. And the third one is the ritual of healing. And this one is actually quite unique because the Mayan people, when they are sick, they don't go to the doctor, but they go to a shaman called Ilol instead. And this shaman will diagnose them by putting his or her fingers onto the wrist of the patient. And then afterwards, they would go to this church, they will bring a live chicken. They will do a sort of ritual with this chicken, they will hover this chicken around the candles, and they will also drink some tosh, like the local liquor here, like similar to tequila. And afterwards, this chicken will be killed, and then it will be given to the patient. And afterwards, it is believed that this chicken that they eat will actually heal the patient from inside out. Visiting the San Juan Bautista Church in Chamula is a very unique experience that you will never get anywhere else in the world. So it is a highly recommended trip to be made during your stay in San Cristóbal de Las Casas. Amazing!
We are now in Sinacantan, a small village, a Mayan village nearby San Cristobal. Well, you can visit this village if you have time, if you have extra time, just to see these 2 churches with Mayan style.
The population of Sinacantan is almost exclusively Xochitl Maya, and Xochitl is even more commonly spoken than Spanish here. Unlike in San Juan de Chamula, the church here is open for all to enter and to take photos of, where you can clearly see the indigenous influence on the altar design.
And that was our trip in San Cristóbal de Las Casas. It's a really beautiful colonial town with really interesting history and a lot of interesting places that you can visit. Especially don't forget to visit the nearby San Juan de Chamula, because the church over there with the ancient Mayan traditions will blow your mind. Anyway, we're gonna continue with our journey. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.